Welcome to Nordic Mindset Gym, live mindset training with Nordic Mindset, and we are live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central European Time. This time, we're going to talk about one of the 32 mindset tools from Nordic Mindset, a training program to help you grow into a more resilient person, a person with a strong mindset, as we actually call it, an eagle. And I want to start today by telling a story that Soren almost always tells as an introduction when he does his public lectures here in Denmark, which have anywhere between 50 and 3,000 participants. Last year, he did a public lecture in the opera, very iconic opera house in Denmark, in Copenhagen. It was absolutely amazing. There was a violinist, there was someone playing the piano, there was someone singing opera in between. It was absolutely magical. But I'll start with the story of the eagle and the crow. The eagle is one of the most impressive birds in the sky. An eagle can have a wingspan of up to 2.5 meters. That's longer with his wings out than most people's beds. It's huge. Its nest can weigh up to 1,000 kilos. So 1 ton is its nest alone. The eagle is one of the most impressive birds in the world, with its large feathers, its very strong talon, its beak, its claws. So the eagle's claws are bigger than the claws of a grizzly bear. And it can crush with its claws with something like 2 tons per square centimeter. That is the equivalent of being stepped on by an elephant wearing high heels. Or my mother-in-law. I'm just kidding. I love her. And she's actually quite petite. It flies in an altitude of up to 8, 9, or 10 kilometers high in altitude. People have spotted eagles from commercial jets where there is hardly any air left for the eagle to breathe. The eagle has incredible focus. An eagle can see a prey like a mouse or a small rabbit from up to 2,000 meters away. So it'll be 2 kilometers high, and it can spot a mouse or a rabbit running on a field. Talk about focus. When the eagle is hungry, it flies down from high altitude and soars over the fields to try to look for prey, for food. It can dive with up to 200 kilometers an hour, just straight down after its prey. The eagle has no natural enemies in the world, but it does have a really annoying cousin, and that's the crow. The crow, though it is far superior to the eagle can crush a crow at any time. But the crow likes to annoy the eagle. So when the eagle is flying above a field looking for prey, looking for food, the crows will fly in front of it. It's a smaller bird, so it's more agile. And even though this has been seen many, many times, that the crow flies in front of the eagle, preventing the eagle from going after his goal, which is finding something to eat, we have yet to see an eagle interact with a crow. The eagle simply, when it's fed up with the crow, flies to high altitude where the crow cannot follow. I think we all have a crow in our lives from time to time. Some annoying person who sees problems instead of opportunities. people who gossip and talk behind people's backs, people who are lazy, people who have no ambition, people who have a really negative mindset. I know that I have worked with crows in my life before. I know that I've had friends in my life before who were crows. People who see every opportunity to complain and use it. But there are also human eagles. They are leaders. They are people with strong morals. They are people with high ethics. They are people who work hard. They are people who have ambitions. They are people who have drive, who want to accomplish something, who go after their goals, much like the eagle. Now, how do we respond when there's a crow in our lives? Someone who never fails to gossip, someone who has no impulse control, someone who goes from job to job, someone who goes from boyfriend to boyfriend or girlfriend to girlfriend, never being able to have some stability in their lives because all they ever do is what they kind of feel like doing. What do we do when we have those people in our lives? I would start with this simple story of the eagle and the crow because today we're talking about a tool that very much plays into this story. It's called the circle of trust. And in Nordic Mindset, we have 32 mindset tools that we have in a 32 tool program that people join if they want to work on their mindset. Now, we have tools that help people who have anxiety, who have depression, who have too much overthinking, too much negativity, and it actually helps them a great deal. In Denmark, we have a 97% success rate helping people who have stress, anxiety, or depression. And it's not helping them with a little bit of relief. It's actually giving them complete freedom from their stress, from their anxiety, and from their depression. Because it's a new kind of psychology. We have a wonderful, wonderful psychologist in Spain called Maria, who has dubbed or is calling Nordic Mindset the fourth generation of psychology because it is so very, very different from other forms of psychology. Whereas most types of psychology is basically focusing on how you feel and what happened to you and how you felt about it when it happened and how you feel about it now. Nordic Mindset is not looking backwards. Nordic Mindset is building skills in the present to make a stronger future. And the tool that we're talking about today is the Circle of Trust. The Circle of Trust is a PDF file where you'll have 4 training videos to guide you on how to work with this tool. And basically, the PDF file is a dartboard. An inner circle, you can call that a bullseye, an outer circle, a wider circle, and then an outer circle. And you are now in this tool asked to write the names of the people you spend a lot of time with close to the bullseye and the people you still see but you don't spend very much time with on the outskirts. And you are to put them anywhere between this bullseye and the outer circle depending on how much time you actually spend with these people. Once you have done that, and by the way, these could be your family, it could be your coworkers, it can be your friends from school or new friends from job, someone you see at the gym. Once you have done that, you will give each person over their name either a triangle, like a warning, or a halo, like an angel would have. You will give triangles to the people where you might suspect that they might not be having a positive influence on you. And I think you already know who this is, by the way, right? Don't you have people that if you go to a family party and you're thinking, I hope I'm not going to sit next to Uncle John, because then I'm just going to have to listen to him whine about how terrible his life is, how awful his job is, what an idiot his boss is, how the world is wrong, how it's the Russians' fault, or it's the Americans' fault, or it's the Iranians' fault, or it's the Israelis' fault, or it's the left's fault, or it's the right's fault, or it's the weather's fault. There's always something wrong in the life of a crow. We also have people, and I know this from my life, I have a cousin, a girl who's about 10 years younger than me. I adore her. Every time we have a family party, I hope that I get to sit next to her because she's like a little dynamo. She's super positive, has amazing energy, has the very light blue eyes, and I always describe it like there's a light beam coming out of her eyes. She talks with so much passion, kind of like our founder. He always has this passion in his eyes when he speaks. And she's a crow. Sorry, she's an eagle, and Uncle John is a crow. If you have an uncle like that, if you have a cousin like that, you already know when you're going to a party who you'd rather sit next to. Am I right? Yeah, I can't see any faces except Jovia, but she's nodding along. And Kim is too. So, whether you're an eagle or a crow is very much up to you. That's based on your values, on your skills, on your mindset, on your actions. And in Nordic Mindset, in this Circle of Life tool, we want to help you get a very clear visual overview over who do you spend your time with, and are those the right people to spend time with? Now, for God's sakes, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not telling you that if your father is old, like my father, and he mostly complains like my father, that you should never speak with him again. Of course, I love my dad. I'm going to speak with him for the rest of his life. I'm just saying, be wary of who you have close to you in your life, because the people that you have close to you will play an influence over how you talk, how you feel, how you spend your money, what kind of ambitions you have, where you go in life. There's a saying, there's a quote, and it's, show me your closest 5 friends, and I will show you your future. Or like I say in the video, if you hang out with 5 idiots, you will be number 6, because we rub off on each other. Of course, you want to hang out with people who are more motivated than you, stronger than you, with a mindset you can learn something from. Maybe with financial skills you can learn something from. Maybe with more drive, more creativity, more ideas. And when you do this exercise, you will see all the halos. And if you have people with halos in the outer ring, why are they there? Why don't you pull them in closer? Why don't you spend more time with them? When I did this exercise, it dawned on me that we have a couple of friends called Tim and Kirsten. They are amazing. I love them. And at that time, 2.5, 3 years ago, when I did this tool in the original Danish version, they were way out there. I knew who they were, but we didn't spend that much time with them. But every time we did, I was pumped. I felt great. So now I see them at least once a week. We're actually traveling to South Africa with them in October, which is going to be great for a vacation and a company trip with my beautiful girlfriend's Millie's business. But I also found out that I had people in my circle of trust who had a very, very negative influence on me. And I think in the training videos, I actually tell about my childhood. I had a friend who was a couple of years older than me in school. His name was Thomas. We called him Thomas Tune-Up because he always tuned up mopeds and scooters. And he was a pretty bad kid. He wanted to do he found out that this business in town had a back door that wasn't really locked that well. So one afternoon in the weekends, we snuck in, and we didn't steal anything. We took some cake from their canteen. But still, I mean, it was trespassing. I was 13 years old. Luckily, the place had video cameras, and someone saw us or something, and it was found out, and I never did that again. But that was someone even though I was 13 years old, in my circle of trust who had a very bad influence on me. I shouldn't have those kind of people in my life. I don't have those kind of people in my life anymore. Thank God. And if you want to be an eagle, you have to be very careful who you let into your life. You got to have people in your life who lift your spirits, share your values, don't drain your energy like crows usually do. And this tool will help you. And I know that I see tons of eagles here on my screen. People with dreams, people who go for what they want, people with ambition, people who want more out of life, people who have a desire to stand out, to do something good in the world, to not be afraid, to not let themselves be held back by thoughts that don't give them the life they want, which, by the way, is the entire purpose of Nordic Mindset, is to help people have thoughts that give them the life outcome that they want. So guess who decides if you're a crow or you're an eagle? You do. No one can make you a crow. No one can make you an eagle. Is it easier to be a crow? Yeah, because there's no responsibility in being a crow. You can just complain about everything and do nothing. But it's not a lot of fun being a crow. I don't think a crow is well liked, because who likes to hang out with people who complain all the time? Is it hard being an eagle? Yeah, it is. It is hard being an eagle, but it's fun. You get to experience life at another level. You get to hang out with people who lift you up and share your values. I see that my eagle friend Kim is writing in the chat. Doesn't matter if you fly like an eagle, if you fly like crows. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get to choose whether you want to fly with an eagle or fly with a crow. Because the 5 closest people you have in your life will define your life. And if you have 3 crows, 1 neutral, and 1 eagle, I'd work on that if I were you. I'd try to see if there's something you can do about that. Try to see if you can get some more positive people into your life, because it will define who you are. It really, really will. I would say the people you have in your life and the habits you have in your life is instrumental to your future success or failure. And yes, plus energy is contagious too. Yes, it is. Kiemba Hussein. I'm gonna call you something else one of these days. Because whatever we expose, it's like being dipped in it's like marinating. You know, you take a piece of meat and you put it in some kind of marinade and you soak it for a week or a day and you barbecue it and it tastes of what it was marinating in. People are that for us. The people you have in your life marinate you, their bad habits, the way they spend money, the way they are tempted, the way they speak. Everything rubs off on you. If you hang out with people who swear all the time, then it becomes normal for you to swear. If you hang out with people who work hard and who pursue their dreams, then that becomes your norm too. Or at least it becomes easier for you to do the same. Now, I wish that I had thought of this earlier, but in one of the videos, I quote a poem by Marianne Williamson. It's such a beautiful poem. Basically, the essence of the poem is that you, Yahaya, Caro, Prosi, John, all of you, Jovia, all of you are special. You're not meant not to shine. You are meant to live out your lives and shine completely. And if some people feel inferior because you shine, then that is not your problem. Because other people are empowered by your light. If you shine brightly, that's also you showing other people that it's okay to shine. It's okay to go after your dreams. It's okay for you to have dreams. It's okay for you to have desires and to go all in for whatever you dream of. And that's the essence of what it is to be a crow. It's someone who has good values, good skills, and who has dreams that turns those dreams into plans and achieves those plans that way, showing other people that, hey, you should dream too and you should go after what you want. I see my eagle says 3 simple keys of a happy life. Surround yourself with good people. Exactly. Love what you do. Exactly. And create a life where you can't wake up to tomorrow. Exactly. Those are the 3 life rules of Nordic mindset. And it's just be thankful for whatever you have right now, because there is always something to be thankful for. Always. I've told this story again and again, and I will keep sharing it. If a bird poops on you, just be thankful that cows can't fly. That would be bad. But you can even find gratitude in the smallest things. If you keep comparing what you have with what somebody else has, you will never be happy. It's not always comparing that will make you happy. It's always appreciating that will make you happy. I read an interview. I saw an interview with this guy once who had built a multi-$100 million business in the US. And the journalist, the interviewer, asked him if he was proud and happy with his accomplishments. And he said, no, he kind of wasn't, because his roommate from college had really done great in business. So he didn't think that what he had accomplished was very praiseworthy. And then he asked him, well, who was your roommate in college? Oh, Elon Musk. Well, okay. If you compare yourself to the world's first trillionaire, yeah, then you don't have a lot of money, even if you have a billion, right? You can always compare yourself to someone doing better than you. I don't think eagles do that. And if they do compare themselves with people who do better than them, it's to find motivation. It's to find drive. It's to find belief that they too can go higher. So that's all for the Circle of Life this time. If there's anyone who has anything they want to contribute, Kim Messen raised his hand. What a coincidence. Join in, my friend.
I'm just so excited because I always say this is my favorite tool, but this is definitely one of them because, we are eagles, 100%.
We are.
And it reminds me about the story that I always use in my trainings around the world where I talk about the eagle and the chicken, and you can
Mhm.
call it a crow as well
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
only the difference is chicken don't fly.
Yeah.
And the story is that, even how much you try, you cannot get chickens to fly.
Nope.
And if you throw them up in the air, the only thing that happens is before they dump themselves on the floor, they will shit on you. And as more chickens you throw in the air, as more they will shit on you, you will end up not flying yourself.
Hmm.
And that's exactly the point of this training. Be careful who you are surrounded with. Because
Yes.
yes, we all have crowds in our inner circles.
Sure.
And some, they are inherited. We have to, as you says. It doesn't mean that we are not friendly with them and we don't. But, eagles also play with crows.
Hmm.
They have fun with them. And when they get tired of them, just fly higher, and then it's goodbye, and they don't see them, and they meet the other eagles, and it's okay to fly down and have play with them. When you sit at the dining table, you could ask the crow when he start complaints about his life and about because he at least has to talk bad about 5 people before
Yeah.
the main dish, at least. And if you don't play with him, you fall to sleep because when they enter the room, they're so negative that the flowers will die. They can take the energy out of everyone, and you will sit there and you will watch the time is just not going. We know this, and the first time someone leave, you follow and say, "Hey, by the way, sorry, my children are waiting at home," something. But if you sit with eagles, they can be 3 a.m. in the morning. It's the best party ever, and you forgot all about time.
Yep.
But you can play with them and say, and what is your solution? Have you any plan for this situation? And then you can sit and smile and self-be because you know that this is a crow. You cannot teach chickens to fly. It is
Yep.
impossible.
Yep.
So, yeah, I love this training, and I really, and again, we are more than 30 people here. You are, we need to be thousands here because these
We
trainings are
will be.
just, it's just amazing. It's a matter of time. We are
Yeah.
moving on. Boarding
Agreed.
mindset is moving on. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you, Kim. I see that Angel has raised her hand. Please join us. Is it a mistake, Angel? Maybe you didn't want to speak, which is okay. Maybe you thought it was a high five. Anyway, if you have something to say, join in. We have a couple of minutes left. So listen, like Kim says, we will be, if you have anything to say, Angel, just unmute yourself. That'll be fine. She left. Okay.
I can just make a small comment. I'm coming to Uganda 18th of this month, and I would love to meet all of you guys who's sitting here listening. I want to meet you and greet you and meet you in person. So I think Yaha, our director of Nordic Mindset, will arrange some meet and greet, and
Cool.
we could do some roundtable discussions of how we
Cool.
can implement faster. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. Cool. So we do these trainings every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central European Time. I think that's 3 p.m. in Uganda, UK, and Portugal. It's 1 p.m. I don't know what time it is in Brazil or Canada or anything right now, but we sometimes have people on from 2, 3, or even 4 continents. So we are growing. We're getting stronger. You guys don't know that. I don't know if I should tell you, but all of the SOFA videos, the number 4 day videos in the training program are all about to be reworked. It will be Soren and I mainly sitting here in the podcast studio talking through the tool itself. That will eventually, probably a month or two away, everything will be done. And when I say a month or two, it's probably not that long, but still, I like to give myself ample time to get finished. Everything will be redone. We're doing a copy of the Danish software so that it will be much easier for our mindset mentors to attract clients and to have clients and to be admins on their clients and all of that. So all of that is coming down the road. Just to tell you, if you're a mindset mentor, we're about to make your life a lot easier. And if you're a client, it will be smoother for you too to go through the program. And hey, if this training inspires you, if you're watching it on replay on YouTube, why not share it with someone? If you're sitting there thinking, "Hey, I could definitely use an upgrade in my mindset," if you're struggling with stress, anxiety, depression, if you feel like your life is not going anywhere positive right now, if you feel like you need a leg up, a helping hand, book a free call with me. You can do that in the link on YouTube where I will post this video. You can book a free 30-minute mindset mentor session with me. We can talk about your specific situation. I'll tell you maybe about 1 or 2 mindset tools that you can use. We've helped thousands of people in Scandinavia already. We've got clients in the UK, in Sweden, in Finland, in Portugal, in Brazil, in Uganda. I don't know if there are people outside of Uganda in the African continent here. Perhaps there is. I know there have been. So Nordic mindset is a new type of psychology that is practical. It's not talking about your problems. It's training mindset skills. And if you're up for that, if you want to work on your eagle skills, then book a free call with me. I would love to talk to you and tell you more. Or maybe I'll just help you for 30 minutes and you'll be on your way, which is also fine. There's definitely no pressure. But thank you all for being here. And hey, if you feel like it, why don't you just unmute yourself here in the end and say goodbye in your own language? I'll start. Moin.
Bye. Mueraba.
Muelaba.
Merhaba.
Muelaba.
Buenos
Goodbye.
días.
Pavel,
Bye-bye.
hasta luego.
Canto fragaquento.
Hello, when he
Buenos
didn't have snot.
días.
Osibe je.
Mueraba, bye-bye.